What is up, everyone? It is DJ Martini Midwest Reviews coming at you with another video for my channel today. I have a really cool micro speaker called the Tribit Stormbox Micro 2. I never got to try out the original, but I really wanted to try out this new speaker from Tribit. It's the Micro 2. It has been compared to the Bose SoundLink Micro, and I did own one of those in the past. It had really good, crisp, clear sound, and this one is very comparable for half the price. And so I wanted to bring you this item. It's a value, it sounds great, and I wanted to bring it to you today. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you've never tuned into my channel before, just know that I do lots of item reviews. I like to do the research for you so you don't have to. Give it to you as easy as possible and then leave some links on the items in case you're interested. So I like to do valued items, maybe items you don't see a lot of videos on. I like to bring you those type of items. So thank you so much for tuning in. If I can help you, if I can give you some ideas on some of these products and my points and views, and you can appreciate that, or I help you in any way whatsoever, please leave a like, subscribe, or share my channel. Thank you so much. Let's get into the Tribit right here. Here's the box right here, and you don't get much in there. There is a charging cable in there and the speaker, and that's pretty much it. So that's what the box looks like right there. So what's in the box? That's it. And you get some instructions right here, pretty good little manual, a couple different languages. And here's the item actually right here. It does have a little bit of weight. It weighs about 1.6 pounds. So it does have a little weight. I will give you some comparisons to the older model too in case you guys are interested, but I heard the sound is similar. Maybe you get a little bit more volume out of the Tribit 2, which I'll keep calling it, but it's actually the Micro 2, but I'll call it the Tribit 2. It has a nice little clip on it, which is cool. It works very, very good, so I do like that. It has really easy plus and negative. Has a power button here on the back here. So you got your power button, you got your Bluetooth button, and then on the bottom when you turn it on, you actually have some lights here. I'll turn it on. Hard push. You can see that. And like I said, really easy buttons to use. Clear cut, can't mistake it. It has a 48mm driver, and it also has a bass radiator, which is basically, it looks like a speaker, but it's not a speaker. It just kind of gives you a little bit more low frequency and gives you that bass sound, which kind of is helpful when you have a little speaker like this. They've been using passive radiators pretty frequently now in small speakers, and it kind of adds a lot of low end. Let's get into the specs a little bit, talk about that. Like I said, it does have the instruction booklet here. Kind of tells you what everything is, what everything does. Tells you on that there you do have a battery meter, which tells you, you know, how much battery you have left. You have different music modes. Also for your call waiting, that circle button has, you know, short press, answer call, hold for a second. So you have to get used to some of the buttons, but it does also have play, pause, next track, previous track. And it's all a matter of how you hold the button. So the instructions will be very handy to figure that out with the circle button. Like I said, you can answer calls and do stuff. It does have a microphone built in. It does sound pretty good, has pretty good sound. Some of the specs for it, for this new model is, it's still IP67, which is dust proof and water resistant. So that means you can, you know, use this by the pool, accidentally drop it in the pool, and it should survive. It has 10 watts of power. It's got 48mm driver, like I said. 12 hours of battery life on this. 120 feet of range in there. It's Bluetooth 5.3, still USB Type-C for charging. It has the 1.6 pounds of weight, and it does still have the true wireless stereo sound. So you can connect this to another speaker, but it has to be the same type. So it has to be a Micro 2. It can't be the original version. It won't link to that one. The original version can link to an original version, and then this one will link to the new 2s as well, but they won't work together though. So it still has that. So you can still get two of these and get a nice stereo sound, which is cool. But one of these, in my opinion, is loud enough. This thing is super loud. I'm really surprised on how loud it is. It blows away like a JBL clip speaker, and you can see that these are pretty close to the same size, but this is a lot louder and actually sounds a little bit better as well than this clip speaker. So I was actually surprised because I am a big fan of this JBL clip. I always thought it sounded really good, but compared side by side to this, it just, I honestly am a fan of the Tribit now. And I do like that it has the strap. You can strap it, it's portable. You know, it's a little heavy, but you could put it in your pocket or your cargo pocket, take it with you, throw it in your backpack. The reason why I picked this up is because I was actually in a vehicle that the stereo speakers were all blown, and so it just sounded horrible. I wanted just somehow to, you know, play my phone with a little speaker in the car. And so I picked this up, and I was very pleasantly surprised how good this sounds, especially when you're in a vehicle and there's lots of sounds around, you know, you're in traffic, things like that, and you could hear this just perfectly. It sounds really good. It was enough to listen to my music and enjoy it while in the vehicle, so very positive on there. Just to compare it to its old speaker, the old speaker, just, you know, little cliff notes here, it was Bluetooth 5.0, not 5.3. It only has 8 hours of battery life. It had 100 foot of range instead of 120 foot. It weighs a little less at 1.3 pounds. And it was only 9 watts, and it's about $10 cheaper. So really, it is an upgrade to go to the Micro 2 if you're thinking about getting one of these. Unless you want to just save $10, I think it is a upgrade to go to the Micro 2. I've never got to hear the sound, but I'm probably going to guarantee with about 1 extra watt of power, you probably get a little bit more volume. But it is worth it probably for the range, if that's improved, the Bluetooth, and the battery life, getting an extra 2 hours. That's a lot. It definitely probably would be a good thing to go ahead and upgrade. The only unfortunate thing, like I said, is probably that you can't link this to the older model. So if you had an older model and you wanted to get the newer model, it's not going to work to link to that speaker, which is unfortunate, but I don't think it's a total deal breaker if you never had one of these and you just go with the 2. So I have heard it compared. I watched a lot of videos, and it was compared to the Bose SoundLink. They said the SoundLink maybe sounded a little bit more crisp and clear, but for volume levels and everything and bass response, they were pretty impressed with this, and they mostly all the time said that this is definitely a value if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper than the SoundLink, by $50 cheaper. This was way to go, because you could get 2 of these for the price of 1 SoundLink from Bose, and they said it still sounds pretty good. And I would totally agree with that. So one thing I do want to show you, we already went through all the specs and everything. All right, so we're going to show you how to hook this up really quick. Go ahead and make sure your speaker is on with the blue light, knowing that it's on. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it. Makes that little sound right there as disconnected. We're going to go ahead and reconnect it just to make sure everything's good to go. And you'll hear what it sounds like when you reconnect. It gives you a little chime saying that you're connected. Now it says I'm connected to the Tribit Stormbox Micro 2, and that's exactly what it says on the Bluetooth. And then we can go to our selections here, and we're good to go. Now you can control the volume from the volume here, and it does work on your device, so you can see that it says that the volume's going up there, and you can control it from your device as well. So it works from either or. But I think it sounds really good. It beats. Like, if you could feel this in your hand, the vibration that you're feeling is crazy. And I'm not even at full volume yet, and that's really loud actually. And you have full control, play, pause. Like I said, you could play and pause from the circle button in the middle, but you have to know like how to hold it. I think if I just hit it once, yeah. And you can play and pause from that circle button as well, and track forward if you like hold it down, things like that. But it is extremely loud. And like I said, I'm not even at full volume yet. So there's full volume there when it gives you that sound. But yes, it's pretty crazy how loud this is. So if you are on a bicycle, if you are on even a scooter or something, I think you'd have no problem hearing that speaker because it is loud. It is really loud. It really projects the music. Definitely easy to hook up. It does automatically shut off after about 5 minutes, probably 3 to 5 minutes, I would say. It automatically shuts off, and then you got to turn it on and reconnect and do things like that. It doesn't automatically connect, so you do have to connect it yourself. So that could be a positive or negative for you there. But the sound quality is exceptional. It sounds really good, and I'm pretty impressed with it for $50, $59. Micro Stormbox 2 is a great speaker for what you're getting. So let's give positives and negatives on the Tribit Storm Micro 2. Definitely an upgrade from the original version. The original version is $49. This one is $59, but I still think that is a value when you talk about build quality, sound quality, and just all the features that it packs into it. You can control everything with the circle button. It does have volume on it as well. It does work good with your iPad or Android device. So just a lot of great features. Bluetooth 5.3, 120-foot range. So there's a lot of improvements over the original version. And they have compared this. I watched a lot of videos of them comparing it with the Bose SoundLink Micro. I've heard the Bose in the store, and I kind of heard it before. It is clear, has great bass tones. But I really think this one sounds really, really close. I mean, maybe it doesn't have the perfect clarity, but it's really, really close, and it sounds very, very good. Very good mid-range, bass tones, and treble. You know, it's all there. So maybe a little bit higher on the mid-range on the speaker, but still, that's probably what you need when you're trying to really project a micro speaker. So still a fantastic sounding speaker. I love the improvements that they've made to it. Value is there at $59. I was really impressed with the sound for $59. Even the Tribit original version, I say at $49. If it sounds as good as this, I still think that's a value as well. Make some improvements to this with the build quality and, you know, battery life, and this is a power bank as well, and, you know, all the features it has it's great. My only negatives is the you know, the circle button with all that it does. It's a dedicated button for a lot of things that you have to kind of learn how to use that, long push or short push or things like that. So got to look at the instructions with that. Also, speaker shuts off after maybe 3 to 5 minutes of not using it, and then you have to reconnect it yourself. It won't automatically connect to my device. At least I haven't got it to do that. So you have to go in and connect it physically yourself every time, which is a little annoying, but it doesn't really break the bank for me, so I'm okay with that. But that's a negative, that it doesn't automatically connect. I've had to physically connect it myself. One thing I'm worried about here is usually there's a little plug. If an item's completely waterproof, there's a little plug on this USB Type-C, but maybe they have a waterproof one. I don't know, but I'd be kind of concerned about dropping that in the water and then plugging a power source in there right away. Now, if somebody wants to test that, please let me know in the comments or send me the link, the video to watch that. I would love to see this thing thrown in a pool, taken out, and then you try to plug something into it right away. I think you'd have to let that dry at least. But that's one thing that concerns me. I think that's a negative in my eye. I wish there was some kind of little cover or little plug that you could plug in there, and that would make me at least feel better. But that's completely exposed to me, and unless they make USB Type-C waterproof ports, I just think that would be somewhere where the water could get in. Other than that, you know, I completely believe that it's, you know, built very well, waterproof, or definitely water resistant, and, you know, dust proof, those types of things, because the material and the way it's built feels great. But those are just a couple little negatives that I would keep in mind with it. Another negative that I would put is I wish it would, even though I don't have an older one, I wish it would be compatible with the older model as well, because I would actually think about getting one. If I could link this to an older model just so I could test them out, only link this to a Micro 2 in the original. You can only link it to an original. So I wish they would make the cross compatibility, but that was evidently an option due to the technology they put in this one and the technology they put in the original one. So I think that's a little bit of a negative though. So that's all I got for you today. I appreciate it. Just know that this is a great speaker that I was super surprised with, and I definitely thought it was a value, and I wanted to bring it to you. $59. There is a coupon currently on Amazon for 15% off that price. So take advantage of that. I think it's an improvement from the original one, just to the specs that I've talked about and the technology that they put in the new one. I was really surprised, and you know, usually little speakers like this don't super surprise me, but this one absolutely did when I was, you know, comparing it to some of my older speakers that I have here. This one just really took me out and impressed me incredibly. So the Tribit Stormbox Micro 2, I think it's a good value. I think you should check it out. I think it will impress you. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's been DJ Martini Midwest Reviews. If this video was helpful at all, please leave me a like or subscribe, and we'll catch you really soon on more videos that I got brewing in the background. We'll talk to you later.